And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
Shaq versus Barkley, two basketball legends going head to head, but this time it's not on the court. It's about Caitlyn Clark. Is she really changing the game for women's basketball, or is all this hype just hot air? Let's break it down. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know what's wild? This isn't just about one player. It's about the whole future of the WNBA and how we talk about women's sports. Imagine if everything you thought you knew about basketball was about to change. That's what some people are saying about Clark. But here's the thing, not everyone agrees. Shaq thinks all this attention on Clark might actually be hurting the league. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, Barkley's over here saying she's the best thing since sliced bread. Who's right? We're gonna look at both sides and figure this out. Trust me, you're gonna wanna stick around for this one.
They cannot have this Caitlyn Clark thing up any worse. If they tried, what she's doing in the WNBA,
she turned the Fever. We're 1-8. They have a winning record now.
All right, time to break down Barkley's bold claim. He says Clark isn't just a star player. She's a game changer for the entire WNBA. Sound crazy? Maybe. But what if the numbers actually back him up? Let's dive into why Charles Barkley is going all in on Caitlyn Clark. He's not just saying she's good, he's saying she's transforming the whole league. That's a massive statement, right? But here's where it gets wild. Barkley thinks some WNBA players are being straight up petty about Clark's success. Barkley's not pulling any punches. He's out here saying, you women out there, y'all petty, man. Y'all should be thanking that girl Clark for getting y'all ass private charters. Whoa, that's some spicy talk from Sir Charles. But is he on to something? Let's look at the facts. Clark's putting up numbers that are making everyone's head spin. We're talking 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. For a rookie, that's not just good, that's break the internet good. She's in the running for Rookie of the Year and MVP. That's like being the new kid in school and immediately becoming both class president and prom queen. But it's not just about personal stats. Clark's impact goes way beyond the box score. She led the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. Think about that. She shows up and suddenly a team that's been struggling for years is back in the postseason. That's the kind of impact that changes franchises. And now, Barkley's not just impressed by Clark's game. He's saying she's bringing a whole new level of attention to the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark is in the conversation. But Caitlyn Clark is in the conversation for league MVP. I don't know if y'all already know that.
Caitlyn's last 10 games, averaging 18 points, 14 assists, 6 rebounds. That is incredible. Those are MVP-like numbers. Of course, A'ja Wilson's running away with the MVP.
More eyes on the league means more fans, more money, and better conditions for all the players. That's why he's calling out the petty jealousness he sees from some WNBA players. In his mind, they should be celebrating Clark's success, not hating on it. And here's where Barkley's argument gets really interesting. He's comparing Clark to game changers in other sports, like Serena Williams in tennis, or Tiger Woods in golf. He's saying she's that once-in-a-generation player who doesn't just excel at the game. She changes how people see the entire sport. Hold up. While Barkley's singing Clark's praises, Shaq's hitting a different note. He's saying this rookie sensation could be causing some serious problems for the WNBA. What's got the big diesel so worried? Shaq's not trying to hate on Clark. He's just saying, hey, let's pump the brakes a bit. His main point, all this attention on one player might be making us forget about the other amazing talents in the league. It's like everyone's talking about the new kid in class and forgetting about all the straight A students who've been killing it for years. You know who Shaq thinks deserves more love? Diana Taurasi and A'ja Wilson. These women are still out here dominating the court, but suddenly it's all Caitlyn all the time. Shaq's basically saying, yeah, Clark's great, but she ain't that great yet. Calm down. We still got Diana Taurasi. We still got A'ja Wilson. It's like he's reminding us not to forget about the legends who paved the way. But here's where it gets really interesting. Shaq brings up this idea of professional jealousy. Think about it. You've been in the league for years, working your butt off, and suddenly this rookie comes in and gets all the attention. Wouldn't that sting a little? Shaq's not saying it's right, but he's saying it's natural. It's like when your little sibling suddenly becomes the favorite child. You still love them, but come on. Now, here's where things get a bit scary. You know how many flagrant fouls Clark's been getting? 187% of the league's total this season. That's insane. Shaq's worried all this hype might be putting a target on Clark's back. It's like everyone's trying to prove they can take down the new superstar. Shannon Sharp even chimed in, saying he's worried about Clark getting hurt. That's some serious concern from some big names in sports. Shaq's got a point about balance too. He says, as good as Caitlyn Clark is, we've had a lot of young ladies who have been doing good and not getting props. That's like he's saying, hey.
Any turnovers, that's not going to get the job done, but I think just a lot of things to learn from. I didn't think we played well.
I think the league is in a really good place right now. I think we're headed in the right direction, but I also think we have a long ways to go.
Let's spread the love around. Maybe if we celebrated all the great players equally, the league would be healthier overall. You know what's even crazier? This whole debate isn't just about basketball anymore. It's sparking some heated conversations about race and privilege in sports. Is Clark's sudden popularity tied to something deeper than just her game? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Some people are saying Clark's getting all this attention because she's white in a league where most players are black. That's a tough pill to swallow, right? But we can't ignore it. A'ja Wilson, one of the WNBA's biggest stars, didn't hold back. She said, that's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is. Whoa, all right, that's some real talk from a player who's been dominating the league. But here's where it gets wild. You've got LeBron James, arguably the biggest name in basketball, praising Clark. He said, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. So now we've got this crazy situation where Clark might be bringing more eyes to the WNBA, but some people are questioning why those eyes are there in the first place. And it's not just about race. People are throwing around terms like pretty privilege too. Sunny Hostin from The View brought that up.
You know, I would have liked to play a little better tonight. I think all of us would say that if we were all sitting up here, and as a team collectively, we would have liked to play better and just have all the confidence in the world. The basket looks really big, so I know exactly how she felt. Like she was just in the zone. Like
it's like, are we talking about basketball skills or a beauty pageant? This whole thing is getting messy, fast. But here's the thing, maybe all this drama could actually be good for the WNBA in the long run. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. People are talking about women's basketball more than ever. They're having tough conversations about inclusion and recognizing diverse talents. That's gotta count for something, right? So what can we do as fans? How do we support all these amazing players and help create a sports culture where everyone gets their due? It's not easy, but maybe it starts with us. We can make sure we're watching games, not just highlights. We can learn about all the players, not just the ones getting the most hype. And we can call out unfair treatment when we see it. All right, let's break this down. Shaq's saying we need to pump the brakes on the Clark hype train, while Barkley's all in on her game-changing impact. Who's right? Maybe both of them. Here's the thing, Clark's talent is undeniable. She's lighting up the court and bringing new eyes to the WNBA. That's huge. But Shaq's got a point about not forgetting the veterans who've been balling out for years. So how do we celebrate new stars like Clark while still honoring the players who paved the way? It's not easy, but it's important. Maybe it's about spreading the love around, highlighting all the amazing talent in the league. What do you think? Are you Team Shaq or Team Barkley? Or somewhere in between? Let us know in the comments. And hey, keep supporting women's basketball at all levels. That's how we grow the game.